I think we need to come together and just vent our frustrations, vent our emotions, and just lay it all out there and move on, turn the page and go again. All right. So we're going to call this fan therapy. Right. We've got 40 seconds each to get it all out about Bromley. All right. Just leave it out there. Tactics, selection, players, what went wrong. Maybe you want to turn an event into a positive and go with what went right. You've got 40 seconds. The floor is yours. Matt, kick us off. Give us 40 seconds, and then you can turn the page and you can never speak about this ever again.
But we will speak about it again because that's the nature of Talking Town. But I mean, it was a game of two halves, really, wasn't it? I mean, we always seem to rock up against these sides, certainly away from home, and almost treat it like it's a training game. Like the tempo was so slow, wasn't it, in the first half? I think Chaplin kind of alluded to that in his interview, didn't he? After the game as captain, there was like kind of no urgency in there. We had some good chances, we didn't take them. I mean, at least, Martin, you said to keep faith with Benny and Clark because they hadn't shown you enough in the Birmingham City game, and is that exactly what he did? Obviously, Chaplin went into the middle. Al Hamidi, well, I mean, look, he should be bossing that level. That's the level he came from against his old club, of course. Forgotten about that. He played for them in the non-league, but I don't think he'd even get into the Bromley side, to be honest with you. That Michael Cheek they brought on. I mean, let's not forget, that was Tux. That was 7 changes Bromley made. That was actually Bromley's second string. Yeah. Which is why I don't understand why Ipswich played with such a lack of urgency in the first half. Go to goal down, played all right in the second half, having not been able to get in our own dressing room. We had to use the team coach, didn't we? Because there was a sewage problem.
Yes.
Probably. Must have been all that works they're doing around the stadium, I guess. So that was weird as well, to have to go back onto the team bus in order to do that. But it's a night to forget where no one's covered themselves in glory again against lower league opposition again.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. I lost count after 40 seconds, but we'll let it go. We'll let it slide because you've got to get it out of the system. Tux, 40 seconds or less. Give us your Bromley event and then we can turn the page.
I'm going to be a bit controversial here, but I'm just really not that fussed. I'm not really that bothered.
Okay. All right. Talk to us.
Because, I think for me, the focus is always the league form, the league campaign. And okay, we didn't start brilliantly against Birmingham, but, ultimately, do we want a cup run? I mean, at this point where we haven't got squad depth is for me a real concern at the moment. We haven't really got the squad to go and do a cup run this year. We've got a few injuries, got a couple of players that want to leave. So, at the moment we're sort of in a bit of a no man's land, I think, with our squad at the moment. And obviously we need signings through the door, but for me last night, I wasn't really that fussed, to be honest with you. Yes, it's embarrassing, of course it is, but I suppose, like Matt said earlier, like how many times have we seen this before? So
exactly,
I'm not really that bothered, to be honest.
No, and that's absolutely fair enough. For some fans are bothered, some are really not bothered. There's no middle ground, it feels like, at the moment. You're either not fussed. And I think you're like me, Tux. You've been here before. You've seen it. You've done it. I said in the match preview, didn't I, Matt, about AFC Wimbledon vibes, and actually it turned out to be AFC Wimbledon vibes.
You could have just run the same show. I like how you used no man's land there, Tux. That's the flip side to the wilderness. It's in the same territory.
I think the only thing I would say is maybe if we were to stay in the cup, then obviously it's a positive for players like Ogbene that might have more of a chance of playing more games, especially, if he might not start the next few games for whatever reason, like at least he's got some opportunities to then build up his fitness and also some of the fringe players as well. So that's the only real sort of positive I would take if we had have gone through, because we're not going to get that far, let's face it. So
and winning games. If you have a cup run, you're winning games, then that's been few and far between in the last 12 months, hasn't it? In all competitions.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit with Tux. I'm not overly bothered. I mean, the performance was really poor, particularly in the first half. Second half, a little bit better. If Ali had scored the goal, I think what McKenna said after the game was probably true. If we'd won the game, you'd have felt second half we did enough and we improved. But it is what it is, and I've seen it. Just rerun the tape in terms of AFC Wimbledon or whoever from the last. Well, I'm 30. What am I, 35, 36 now? Over the last 20 years, it feels like first round of cups is what we exit on.
Talking Town, mate, in the history of Talking Town, that what I mentioned earlier is all in the history since we're doing the pod, and that's what 5 years. Exactly. There's 5 or 6 clubs we've just named there. So